Africa's largest mobile operator, MTN, has warned that any further delays to the auctioning of high-demand spectrum will be harmful to the country's economic recovery, as the auction is part of the structural reforms government has committed to implement. MTN Group CEO Ralph Mupita weighed in on this week's court victory by Telkom to delay ICASA's plan to auction spectrum at the end of March.
Our position on this is really that players must come together and find a mediation for this. We don't want to hold back South Africa's progress. We don't want to hold back the resources that can get to the national treasury in terms of access to the spectrum. The country needs these resources too, very urgently. So our approach is that we would be very supportive of the efforts of the minister to find mediation, and the mediation that results into an appropriate allocation timelessly, not too delayed, so that we can go ahead with the important job of ensuring we have enough broadband access for South Africans, rich and poor.
Mupita also says the rollout of spectrum cannot be postponed, as it is expected to transform the industry and lower the cost of data.
The structural reforms that we've spoken about in the very recent years, they are overdue for implementation. There's an urgency to get these implemented to ensure that the economy can grow and grow robustly and sustainably. Those structural reforms are very well known to all of us as South Africans, and it is important for us to stand behind the president and ensure that these do get implemented. I mean, one of them is the release of high demand spectrum, which I spoke about just now. And that's why we're very interested and very convicted and supportive of a process where a mediation is found sooner, so that we don't have delays, because it delays our prospects for economic growth. There are other structural reforms in areas like land, etc., that also need to be clarified, and we progress.
The mobile operator reported a 60% jump in headline earnings per share for the full financial year, with strong growth in fintech and data services. MTN has added 29 million more subscribers in 21 countries in the past 12 months and boosted its cash flow to 29 billion rands. It will, however, not pay a dividend to shareholders, as it is anticipating a third wave of COVID-19 infections, which brings with it some level of uncertainty.
The other uncertainty is that this year, our markets are still going to be going through COVID effects, and we're going to see some waves of lockdown. Certainly, we anticipate there's a wave 3. So there's a part of our dividend decision based on a cautious but balanced outlook in the near term, the next 12 months. But the other driver is really around the growth opportunities that we see. We see ample growth opportunities across our markets. In South Africa, as an example, we want to be in a place where we have the capacity to invest in new spectrum frequencies.
Mupita says plans to divest from its operations in the Middle East are underway. The group wants to focus its efforts on the African continent, as it says this is the center of the group's gravity for all its operations. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Xolani Mbanjwa in Johannesburg.